Hello nerds! Welcome back to another chaotic update. Today we're talking books. I finished one, started another one. We're talking knitting again. I have one ongoing project. We're talking 2 crochet projects today. So let's get into it. First up, books. I have finally finished the Thickety. This is a book by J.A. White, and I think this is very wrongly marketed. If you read the blurb, it looks like it's going to be about a magical forest. This is also marketed as a middle grade book. Some sources say from 9 to 12. Some say from 6 to 9. So it's definitely marketed as middle grade. And I'm not sure if I would recommend this to a kid, or if I would be okay with a kid reading this. Obviously, it does depend on the kid, right? Some are more squeamish than others. If your kid is sort of squeamish, don't make it read this. Obviously, I'm not a parent, so it might be hard for me to, get into that. However, I have worked with kids for many years, and I don't think I would feel comfortable if they read that, most of the kids. So if your kid wants to read this, please read it first. I am thinking of making a video about wrongly marketed books that are, targeted to middle grade, that are sold as a middle grade, whereas I think there might not be middle grade, because this is the 3rd book that has happened to. So, what this book actually is a dark, witchy book. If you want a dark witch story, pick this book up. I know it says middle grade, but believe me, this is very enjoyable as an adult. And there are topics in here, or things happen in here that I would not expect in a middle grade book. So, if you normally don't read middle grade, but you want a creepy, dark witch story, this is the book for you. Because in this we follow Cara Westfall, and her mom has been hanged because she was a witch. And Cara is now getting into her powers, but she lives in a very small village in the ages of the witch hunt. So we're getting to see all that. She lives in a very rigorous community that hunt witches, that are very opposed to magic. So a lot of dark stuff happens. And yes, we do follow a POV of a kid, but I think that's making it more creepy, to be fair with you. The things that this kid goes through is very adult. So you can definitely read this as an adult if you want a very, I don't know. I feel like grimdark, but I'm not sure what that entails. And I know it's used wrongly a lot. But it's a dark witch story. So if you're into that, read the Thickety. This is the 1st book. I think there are 4 books in this series. I'm very, very curious to see where this goes, because this book was a ride. It started off so dark, and I did not expect it, because I expected a cutesy middle grade book about a magical forest. And it was not. And then it got, a bit grim, but not very, very dark. Then it looked like we finally got something happy and sunshiny. well, I was wrong and something dark happened again, and that's where the book ends. So I'm very curious to see about the rest of the series. This was a very hard book to read. I was very stuck on this as a middle grade, and I don't think it's appropriate for a middle grade. However, if I let that go, I really enjoyed the story. I really liked it. It's not my new favorite, but I would definitely recommend this to people who like dark witchy stories. So I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars because, yeah, I don't know. This is a hard book to read, guys. But it is the Thickety by J.A. White. And then I started Arkspire by Jimmy Littler. This is the writer of Frostheart. That's very, very popular. About Frostheart, I am not joining the hype. I don't think they're wrong, but they were just not my new favorites as they seem to be for everyone else. But I'm very hard with polar fantasies. I am currently on page 114. 113. And so far I really like it. This is about the archinists. And there are 5 archinists that have all the magical powers, and they each have a district in this big city. And they protect the people there. And this does talk about different backgrounds, being rich, being poor, riches that might be feasible or not. So I am really enjoying this. I love the illustrations as ever. I do think Jamie Littler makes them themselves. Let me check that. Yes. So the text and the pictures are copyrighted by Jamie Littler. So very, very excited for this one. As we spoke last time, I decided to frock the sweater, and I did. And I'm so glad I did that, because then I was really excited to start it again, and this is where we are now. I am further than I was the first time, and you know what, frocking isn't, nice to do. It always feels a bit however, it is part of the progress. I am very new to knitting sweaters. This is my first ever, so it's not gonna be perfect, but I do use hand-dyed yarn, so I want it to be nice so I can actually wear it. And the ribbing now is way neater than it used to be, so I'm really happy about that. This looks way neater, and it's not perfect at all. I'm not claiming it is perfect. There are definitely some parts that are still not as neat as I would like. It is happening in the increases of the raglan. But what this taught me is, I can now do short rows a bit neater. It's not perfect. I do have to improve on that. But, it was better than the first time. So I'm glad. It told me where I made the mistakes. So that's good. It turns out it was with making the short rows on the knit side. And then now I have to figure out what's going on with the raglan increases here, because it's not nice. But I am knitting from this. This is, it is fine. It's not going to be perfect the first time. And now I would like to continue because the rest of the fabric looks nice. So I'm happy with that. So yeah, I was just glad, and now I'm excited to get into this again. Unfortunately, I couldn't do as much as I wanted to because I have new medication. I'm trying to find where my boundaries are, and apparently I crossed a few. So yeah, then I had to pay for that. So I haven't done as much knitting as I wanted for this sweater. But, I was very excited about it. I am very excited to continue. If I'm allowed again. So that is fun. Crocheting wise, I was so focused on the sweater that I did want to have some very easy project, because at some point I couldn't knit the sweater anymore because I've been punished for crossing my boundaries elsewhere. And then I need, crochet is more easy on my body. I crochet looser than I knit. I knit very tight apparently, so that is easier. But also, I don't have to think as much. You know, I wanted to think. Even if I have to lay down, I can do a few stitches kind of project. So this is it. This is a triangle scarf. Again, I made one earlier with the Hopi Halloween yarn. This is made with hand-dyed yarn from a wool base. This was the January sock club, and this is the... This was from the Valentine's package. The Valentine's kit I ordered. However, the stitches are very easy. The pattern is very easy. I can put this down and, you know, when I pick it up again, I immediately know where I am. So that is very easy. If I just can do 5 stitches, I can do something in this. However, this now isn't as mindless as I wanted it to be because I have to change color every 2 rows. Because I think these colors combine so nicely and I love this. I have tried it with holding the 2 strands together, but it did not look as nice as this does. And I was hoping I could carry my yarn without it being too obvious. But since this is a scarf to really quickly put on, both sides are nice. That is the purpose and I do not want to ruin that. Which I will. If I carry it. Especially with this lacy fabric, you will see it. And I didn't find that nice, so I have to cut my yarn every 2 rows and start with a new one. That makes it way more mindful than it normally is. It's not not usually mindful. It isn't hard to do, but it is something I have to now pay attention to. Whereas normally I could just crochet this without thinking, without minding, and then, you know, it flows. So you just get in the rhythm and you do it, right? And then when you look down again, like 30 minutes later, it's like, oh, I made a whole bunch of scarf there. And this is not that right now because of the color change, but it's fine. It is still something very lightweight I can do very easily. I can even do it laying down. So I will definitely continue with it. It was just a stupid decision on my part. Making it 2 color and then thinking it would be, you know, the same mindlessness, which obviously it wouldn't. I could know that beforehand. The other crochet project is my square blanket. And I haven't done as much. I think I was a bit done with the squares after making so many last time. I made over 40 last time. So now I just have these. It is all the blue squares. It is a bit more blue on camera, I see, than in real life. It is more of a greenish blue. Even for turquoise, it's still green. It is more sea green, maybe. Yeah, I think that would define it, but you don't see it because on camera it looks very blue. I made 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 sea green squares. That means that I am now over half of the sea green squares. I still have left of this yarn. I don't know what it is. It is a leftover. I think I got it in a swap sometime and it didn't have a label, so I have no clue what it is. It feels sorry. It isn't mohair because it isn't as hairy as mohair is. It is more fluffy than hairy, if that makes sense. So it does feel like something alpaca because last time when I tried mohair, I couldn't even work with it, and I can definitely work with this. And I can work with alpaca. So I think that's it. That's what this is, but I'm not sure. It's soft though, so it's gonna be great in the blanket. And I hope to finish all these bluish green squares this week. And then I have to do the 10 ones, and the red and the orange, but I do not have enough yarn for the red and the orange, so I have to buy some more, which will probably be next month because I bought a lot of yarn and books. But they're not here yet, so I can't show any of it. I'm not sure though if I have showed you the yarn that came in my sock subscription. Let me grab that and let's go on to acquisitions then. So you might have seen this already, maybe not, I'm not sure anymore, but it's my favorite. So if you've seen it, you're gonna see it again because I love it so much. Look! This was the sock yarn from my sock yarn subscription of April? Yes, this is April's. And you get that in May. So in the beginning of June, I get the one from May. So this was April, and it has such Hocus Pocus vibes to me. I love this so much. I immediately messaged her, do you have any leftover? Do you have more of this? Because I want this to be a scarf. I want this to be a scarf because I love it so much. I don't want socks of it. I want a big project out of it. Unfortunately, she didn't have some. She has some in her shop. It is again from Huddle Atelier. She has some in her shop. But they're more bluish than purple. This is definitely very, very dark purple. And those are very dark blue. Which, I love this purple so much. So I want it to be purple. So I'll figure out how and what we're going to do with this. There ain't going to be socks. I want this to shine. Not that socks don't shine, but I need a bigger project of this, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I love it though. I love it so much. So yeah, that is the only thing I can show you today. I think that was all for today. Let me know down below what you're reading, what you're working on, and don't forget to like this video if you had fun. Subscribe if you want to see more chaos from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, nerds!